Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning, just talking as a friend. This is Una, and boy, is she a handful. Isn't she the cutest though? Look over there. Look over there. She's full of energy, and I can't wait for her to be in the outdoors. This past week, I've clarified where I'm going, and it turns out everything's great. Moving to a piece of land in Alabama, a few miles away from the city and people, so I should have a lot more time to focus on myself and this channel. I mean, the fact that what's happening in the world is not getting 200 views now, and I clearly ask my subscribers to put an upvote at the end of the video, and that they're not doing that it's really disheartening. To those of you leaving comments, you make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. It means a lot. It really does. You know, this is what I wanted to do. I went back to school, college, when I was 26, 27, to try to go for journalism and thought I wanted to own a Tesla, but amazing how much can change in just a few years. But before I go on any further, I'm just vlogging. It's Tuesday morning. A little show and tell. I got this little neck knife right here. Tool for everything. Little doodads around the place. It's only about like an inch or so blade. And then I got Soundcore earphones. They look cool. They look futuristic, like I have earpods, like I'm rich. I'm not rich. Everything came down at me at once. In fact, I did pay my taxes, which was like $150, which went to TurboTax. And then I need new brakes. That's another $160. And then my car payment was due. It's $180. And then I got a ticket for out-of-state registration, which expired. So that's another $95. So I just got hammered with like $400 or $500 worth of bills in like a week. And I know what you're saying, like you could have saved ahead and prepared, but it's like, yo, all my money went to rent and food. Expenses, inflation is out of control. It's out of control. Low-key, I'm healthy. I wanted to address some other things. I watched that Good Morning Britain video with that host asking the interviewee about climate change, and he's obviously being really crude, and he asks her, this young woman, where she thinks she got her clothes from. And I mean, that's the level of stupid that's out there. The straw man technique, it's not new. It's been around for ages, okay? When you point out someone being hypocritical. And that's happened on my channel many times. People have come here and try to point me out for being hypocritical, even though I'm talking about climate change. Now my knowledge is such that there is no chance. I firmly know, and the scientific literature suggests, that we pretty much are out of options. And anyways, the point of the interview was just how insipid and just stupid people can be, truly, missing the issue entirely. So I also wanted to talk about a few other things. You know, I see the ignorance everywhere, you know, and it especially hurts when I see young people, very attractive girls in luxury vehicles taking selfies with their iPhone 12 because they're socially conditioned around them that their appearance and image is more important than their future, and this is a very sad indicator of where we're at as a species. And also, I have my own confession. I was in a restaurant the other day picking up an order, and I know how much I vow to kind of keep my mouth shut and, you know, live in acceptance. That doesn't mean that it still doesn't. I'm still living. It still hurts, you know, to see people living so blatantly ignorant, living in their ignorance. I saw, and I'm just going to confess, I saw a couple of two families, two set of parents with what I presume was their grandparents, and each of them, the mom, there's two moms with babies in their laps, and their husband. And the husband, they were a good-looking couple, okay? The woman was perhaps a few years older than me, maybe 38, my guess. Super attractive. Like, I would 100% date this woman. And her husband was attractive too. He kind of looked like me, but more like a pussified girl version of it. You know, because that's what you got to do when you got to be a dad. You got to, you know, in America, you got to inhibit all your manhood. And they kept looking at me a few times. I grabbed my order. I couldn't help it. I walked over to them this is on Easter Sunday, about 4 feet away. And I said, "Hi, it's Easter Sunday. I'm a fellow American. I just wanted to show you something." And I pulled open the NOAA graph and I said, "This is National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, and this is the global average temperature over the past 100 years. Look at it one more second." And they're all quiet, staring. And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm truly, truly sorry." And I just walked off, turned and walked off. And then on my way out, close to the door, I turned because I know they were still looking at me, and I said it so the whole restaurant could hear me. "I'm sorry." I mean, how fucking out of tune do you gotta be? You know, how out of touch with reality do you gotta be to still be propagating babies despite the clear warnings from everywhere? And that brings me to my next topic, is the disappointment I have with this administration. Okay, that protest last week and any other time and period in history, any other period in American history, those NASA scientists and physicists and just scientists around the world protesting and handcuffing themselves to bank doors, that would be on mainstream, that would be on the front page headlines. You get what I'm saying? And in any other time period, that would be blown up to national news. But it wasn't even barely covered. It was glossed over in just a few minutes. I mean, that goes to show you the level of magical thinking, dark ages that we're in. That is a clear indicator that you need to wake up. And these aren't the only people I'm talking about, strangers at restaurants, old friends. Virtually everyone from high school has had a baby by now. Almost everyone. I'm one of the 1 out of 20 that has it, out of my class of 500 people. Let's talk about how Elon plans to get us out of this mess. So I didn't watch the whole TED Talk, just to be clear. I watched the beginning and the end because the middle of the TED Talk, I'm talking about the one specifically with Elon Musk that was released in the past week. He goes on to talk about Neuralink and AI, which I really don't care about. I don't see us making much progress on that before lights go out, before we go dark. But his intention is to have thousands of starships flying out in the 2030s to Mars, where the people of Mars will orchestrate their own standard of living and democracy in very hazardous conditions. Lots of people will die. I mean, this is our best hope of survival, guys. Is a philanthropy narcissist cult leader who gives bad timing on all of his projects and progress updates. He can't even get, Starship is not even off the ground orbiting around the Earth, okay? And we're talking about plans way in the future. Sabine Hausler, whatever, that woman scientist, she just did a video. Nuclear power isn't even that economically viable or renewable. Okay, it isn't. This notion that we're just gonna fly up to Mars and start a new habitat up there is so absurd. And the fact that he believes that the future is gonna be great if we work hard, but we're not working hard, Elon. Teenage and 20-year-old girls are taking selfies in Range Rovers, okay? We're so far from being awakened to this issue of climate change and biodiversity loss that, again, it's hopeless, dude. It's totally hopeless. The interview was fascinating, and the interviewer has interviewed, I know the guy, I forgot his name, but he's interviewed him before, is just going, what if we could have Neuralink on Mars connecting people between planets? And yeah, I want to circle back around to what Biden has done. He's completely eliminated our climate pledges, or the possibility of reaching our climate pledges. He hasn't followed through on his student loan plans. He exited Afghanistan in a horrible way. We did. His approval rating's at 33%, and for a good reason. He's done absolutely nothing. I don't see how we're gonna have a next election that's gonna go down properly based off what has just transpired. No, with not only his administration, but in the past, let's say 40 years. I don't know how we're gonna have a viable and safe election again. It's a complete and utter disappointment, and I'm just one guy. You know, I don't have a family or children. I can imagine how difficult it must be for so many people to be living right now. Not just in America, but around the world. So cheers, guys. Just a little Tuesday morning rant. Just me, off the cuff, no acting. Let me know if you want to see any more of a certain type of content, and I'll just see what pops out. I'm documenting the collapse. This is what you want, right? Alright, Doomers. I'll talk to you soon. See you later.